Let's move on to Ireland news now, and a story, Neil, which could have been the greatest episode of Scooby-Doo ever made.
Oh, this is exceptional.
Yeah, well, let you tell the story.
Okay. There is a woman who is awaiting sentencing because she continued to claim her father-in-law's pension for 28 years after he died. So, if he was alive, he would have been 110 years of age. I would put it to you, you're going to get caught. If he's 110, you are going to get caught. If you're being investigated by the police, the social welfare, and the Guinness Book of Records, you are going to get caught. If you look out your window and Norris McWhirter is in a surveillance van on your street, that is an indication of you going to get caught. So the welfare people eventually turned up, right? Because what happened was this amateur gerontologist, which I didn't even know was a thing, went, there's a guy who's 110 in this small town. I haven't heard of him. Yeah, why haven't I heard of him? And they contacted Áras an Uachtaráin, which is where the president lives, big house where the president lives, used to be the Vice Regal Lodge, because they gave out money to people who hit 100. And they went, okay, yeah, well, we've given out the coin, which is this $2,500 coin. So then they went and contacted the welfare people. The welfare people then went and had an inspection. She tried to dissuade them. She finally relents. They walk up into the bedroom. There's a man in the bed. He still has his shoes on. Of course he does. He's 110, but he has his shoes on in case he has to go somewhere. Right? And she says, that's him. He's deaf and confused. And it was her husband. Now, if you can ignore the absolute mind melt of that request, where she looks at, I need you to pretend to be your father in bed. That's just not right. That's an Oedipus Electra psychological situation that we can't visit. And what an insult to him. Here, you look 110. Get up into that bed. So he lies in the bed, and of course they get caught. And so now they're waiting, because the woman is 73, and they're waiting for her to be sentenced. The judge has said, you've taken 270 grand. It's the equivalent of about 400 grand, actually. So I don't know what I'm going to do. We're going to see about this. How do you expect to get away with this is my question. When do you think that you will end it? Because, like, you rob a bank, you leave the bank, you wash the money, whatever. But he's like, you have to fake a death or something to get out of this when you think of it. You're going to...
No. Can I answer that?
Yep.
Yeah. So what amazed me about this story was once they realized that it was unlikely that there was a 110-year-old out there still claiming his pension, how hard and how long it took them to find out that he was definitely dead. I think that's the answer. First they went for a visit, then she wouldn't let them in. Then they came back again. Then there's a man in there, but they went, he doesn't look like him, but we have no way to DNA test him. We have no way to age him. Oh, he's wearing shoes. That's probably a sign. Then they went to the grave park. What's that called?
Cemetery.
Then they went to this.
It sounds so much more fun. Let's go to the grave park. Woo!
Can we 100% lay it down? This is why you didn't get the job at Disney. Right?
Yeah, this. Then they went to the cemetery. They found a grave in it. They found his name on the gravestone. They went, but we don't know that he's in there. Then they went to the dead makeup man. Oh, what's the name of that? The funeral guy.
The dead makeup man.
Undertaker? Yeah.
Then
That's a wrestler. Don't be an idiot.
No, there was a wrestler called the Dead Makeup Man as well, to be fair.
Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe he's previously deceased.
Then they went to him and he went, yeah, no, I do have a record of doing his makeup from like 30 years ago. So it took them so long to just prove that he was dead. She kind of deserves the amount of money that she claimed in the time between when they suspected something and they finally proved he was dead. Surely.
I don't want to say that this is a trend, right? But, and this is a slight aside, I had to, given that they're 110, I had to renew my father's driver's license last year, right? Now, he's 88, and I had to pick his date of birth from a drop-down menu. The earliest date of birth that you can pick for somebody renewing their driver's license in the Republic of Ireland was the 1st of January, 1873. For all those 150-year-old drivers that you see, when you pull up to a roundabout and there's a giant tortoise driving a Nissan Micra in front of you. I'm not even joking. That was the earliest date you could pick.
1873.
What I liked about the her efforts to sort of talk her way out of it, saying, as you say, a man in bed with shoes on. I mean, there's a kinky niche for everything, but shoes in bed, I think that does arouse suspicions. But when she said, here he is deaf and confused. Now, the problem she has with that is that in the past, that might have elicited some sympathy, but nowadays, we know that being deaf and confused doesn't necessarily stop you getting out of bed and, for example, running for president of the USA. So it's not quite the gambit that I think she thought it was. So.
And in fairness, he was only 110. I mean, Biden.
Yeah. Can I just say that in the UK, they didn't actually start issuing driver's licenses until 1903.
Yes.
So, and apparently in Ireland, they said that the driving test was introduced in the mid-1960s.
Well,
and in 1979, they just handed out driving licenses to people who failed the driving test as there was such a backlog. So.
Yeah, well, I'll put it this way. I think we can boil this down to, if the person you're applying for the test is older than the idea of the car.
Yeah.
That's maybe a drop-down menu that you can shorten a little bit.
I guess, yeah. Also, I mean, it's 28 and a half years that she claimed his pension, and the total value was 271,000 euros. That does show that it's not a lot of pension flying around. That's less than 10,000 euros a year. But anyway, well done for trying, and well
it's
done
still
for
higher
doing
than
it
the
for so
UK
long.
pension, by the way.
Yeah, but here in Britain we just have the joyous spiritual nourishment of being British and having the Union Jack flag and the Queen and all kings' faces on our money, and we don't actually need to have any of that money.
You are warmed by the memory of your empire.
That's right. Yeah.
We don't live to 110 either.
Yeah. We choose not
Enjoy
to.
that toasty glow of nostalgia. Who needs insulation when you once had the Raj?